Hello everyone. Today we'll see how we need to create a visjs timeline graph. Okay, so this is a visjs timeline graph. So if we click on this image, the data will display in the input boxes. How it will create, we'll see it today. Okay. To create this visjs timeline graph, we need some files. We'll see what files we need. Okay. So first here I have created one folder with the name visjs. In this visjs, I have created in this visjs folder, I placed all the files which I need to create this visjs. Okay. So what files we need? We'll see. First, the images folder. In the images folder, I place the images whatever we have used in this visjs. Okay, next one is the index. Index is a HTML file. So another two are the visjs timeline, CSS and JS files. Okay, so to create this visjs timeline, we need to import these files, the visjs and vis timeline graph for CSS and JS files. We need to import. Okay, now we'll see how it will work. Okay, so in the HTML tag, as you all know that head tag, title tag, and body tag, okay, right? So in the title tag, I have given the name VGS timeline, and here another tag also I'm using, that is a script tag. So I told that to create this VJS, we need to import the VJS, CSS, and JS files, right? So to import this, so we already imported those CSS and JS files, right? So for that JS, I use the script tag. In the script tag, I have given the JS file. Okay. Next, in the body. So in a body tag, as you all know that Vue.js is a JS library, right? So JS JS code to write this JS code, we should use a script, right? So here I also did the same thing in the in the script tag. I have given the entire code which is related to the timeline. So here I had taken the four variables. One is the container, another one is items, another one is options, and another one is timeline. So in the container variable, this container variable, why we are using this container variable means to display this timeline, we need one box, right? Like to display this timeline, right? So for that, I have taken here the variable container. In this container, the timeline will display. So where it will display, where this container will display, means here I have used the document.getElement by ID method. ID visualization I have taken. Where we got this ID visualization means in the HTML we have given ID visualization. That is nothing but in this div, the timeline will display. That container will take place in this id visualization, and the timeline will display in this container. Okay, next one is the items. uh, to display this timeline, we have taken one container. So we need to take the data, right? To create this visjs timeline, we the data should be in the key and value pairs. Key and value pairs is nothing but in the arrays. In the array format, we need to take the data. Okay, so here we are telling that viz dot data set. In the visjs, we are setting the data, that too in the key and value pairs. Here start is a key and this date is a value, and content is the key. Image tag, in the image tag we have given the image, that is a value. Course is a key, front end development is a value, fees is a key, 5000 is a value. Like that I have given the key value pairs. Okay, so in the start, I have given the date, and the content I have given the image. I use the image tag. In this image tag, the image path I have given. Okay, to create this visjs, start in content or the important keys. Without this start and content, this timeline won't or does not know how to give the data. So start and content are the mandatory. So in the start, we need to give the date, that too in the year, month, and date format. And in the content, whatever the data we have given in the content, that content will display in the out. Sorry, that data will display in the timeline. So in this content I have I have given the image. For that I use the image tag. So that is why in on the timeline it is showing the image. Okay. And another two columns are the course and fees. So now we got the container and data. We need to give the css, right? So in the visjs css, to give the visjs css we need to use the options variable. In the options variable, here I have taken the editable true, which is nothing but to edit on the timeline. I have given the true. True, if we give true, we can edit on the timeline. If we give the false, it won't edit. We cannot edit. And the margin is the, in the css we all know that margin property, margin left, right, top, bottom. Like that in the visjs css, in the margin we have time and access. Okay. Oh, now another one is the timeline variable. In the timeline variable, new viz dot timeline. In the timeline viz dot timeline. So for this timeline we are taking the data from the container variable, items variable, and the options variable. All these data we are storing in the timeline variable. So after taking all these data, what happens, how it will work? Timeline dot on click. If we click on the timeline, the function will whatever the code we have given in this function, that code will execute. In the function we are taking the uh, parameter as a properties. So first here we are telling that if a properties dot item, nothing but if we it will check whether the item is clicked or not. Whatever the items we have on the timeline, that item, it whether it is clicked or not, it will check here. It will whether if the item is clicked, the code, whatever the code we have given in the if condition, it will execute. If the item is not clicked, it will go to the else, and in the console.log it will print the click even no item. If whatever what happens if the item is clicked, we'll see. If the item is clicked, it will execute here. It will execute this one. First it will take the data from the items. What data it will take from the items? Properties dot item we are telling. So whatever the item we have clicked on that timeline, that data we are taking from the items, and that data we are storing in the constant item weight, constant item. Okay. So now we got that item data, right here, and that related item should display now, right? So for that, here I have used a document.getElement by id demo.value is equal to item.codes. What is this item.codes? So here in the constant item we stored some data, right? In that data, it will check for the course column. It will go to the course column, and whatever the data in that course column, it will display in this id demo. So where is this id demo means, here in the input box, in for the input tag we have given the id demo. That is nothing but the data will display in this input box. That course data, course column data will display in this id demo input box. Okay. Like this we have another column fees. So same in the items, it will check for the column fees, and whatever the data we have given in this fees, that data will display in the id demo 1. Id demo 1, for id demo 1 we have taken another input box. Okay. It will display in this input box. Like this visjs timeline will work. We'll see here on the right side we have an output, right? In this entire thing, what you're telling, if you click on the timeline, it will display the data in the below input boxes. See here, now this is a timeline, right? So if you click on this image, the data is displayed in the input boxes. See here, this is how it will work. Okay. Thank you.